What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry with me. It's the Valspar 2022 from Innisbrook Resort's Copperhead course in Tampa, Florida, and we're here to break it down, give you our favorite outright bets, give you maybe a couple top 20s that we like over on DraftKings Sportsbook. We've been hitting winners all over the place. We've hit 9 winners in 2022. Pay attention. We're going to dish it out to you quickly. If you're looking for a course breakdown, trends, key stats, all that stuff, you can find a lot of that on DraftKings YouTube channel as it is. Pat Mayo does a lot of that good stuff. We do a lot of that on our own YouTube channel, Tour Junkies. But while you're here, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment if you haven't already. Comment what you who you like this week. Who's your long shot? Give me a long shot for the Valspar Championship. That's what we want. We don't want those short. We don't want you to say Victor Hovland.
Yeah, like anybody, love long shots.
Anybody can pick Victor Hovland. You know what I mean? Now, this isn't traditionally a long shot kind of tournament. In the last few years, we've only seen really Sam Burns won last year. He's your defending champ at 70-1. But honestly, everybody kind of saw Burns coming. Like, the dude was a stud in college. He was a stud in his amateur career. Stud at the Korn Ferry Tour. He was a stud all around. So he won at 70-1. Adam Hadwin was really your last real long shot at 125-1 a few years back. Other than that, it's been 25-1 Paul Casey, 16-1 Jordan Spieth, that kind of thing. So the Valspar tends to be a tougher track, and the field right now is okay at the top. We've had some withdrawals due to the late finish at TPC for the Players Championship. So let's get into it, Pat. Let's look at the top of the betting board, up to 25-1. Let's give a few names that we like here. I got 2. If we're looking at DraftKings Sportsbook, Dustin Johnson at 18-1. I would take DJ over Sam Burns right now. It's Sam's first week or first time defending as champion. Multiple time PGA Tour winner now, but this was where he broke through and won. It's his first week doing so. And he's coming off of a long week at the Players Championship where he looked like he was kind of fighting his swing a little bit on Sunday. And I don't know. I think DJ at 18-1 presents some value for a guy who just went out and tied the course record at the Players Championship, has played here a couple times and has a decent finish to show for it. He's going to have to club down off the tee, which I don't love. Like, a lot of guys are going to do that here. You're going to hit to the same spots in the fairway, and then from there it's kind of an iron play and grinder kind of golf course. But at 18-1, I feel like there's value there for DJ. Like, I would rather him than Sam Burns. I would rather him than even Louis at 16-1, just from pure win value. Xander, I would rather. I feel like he should be up there in the 14-1 kind of range. So I think he's a value there. I like DJ, and I like Matt Fitzpatrick. I know he's coming off a missed cut at the Players Championship, but he did so after being on the wrong end of the weather wave. Other than that, he's been playing fantastic in the Florida swing. He's gaining strokes everywhere. He's a grinder. 25-1. That's about as short as I'm going to go. If it gets shorter, I'm out. But I'll try it with Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can go.
I know it's tough.
I mean, we've already talked about this, on both shows, including this one now. I'm just not in on Matthew Fitzpatrick. The 2 I do like, though, I'm a fan of Usti this week. I think Oosthuizen could be a really good play here. I like him. Even at that a little bit shorter number at 16-1. I'm okay with Louis. I think this is a good course fit for him. He's played well here in the past. As a matter of fact, if you look at the guys that are up in the shorter range, he really has the best kind of consistent history of almost all of them. So I like Louis here at 16-1. And I'll go back to last year's champ, Sam Burns. Even if I know, look, he won here on really a different style course because it was the same course, but it was later. It was in May last year as opposed to where it is this year. And so this year there's a little bit more overseed and whatever else. But I still like what I've seen from Sam Burns with his putter. Now, you could say things about his other parts of his game, but his putter's finally coming back around. That's the best part of his game. Sam Burns at 18-1, I think, is still a number that I will bet. And we've seen back-to-back winners before. Paul Casey just did this, a few years ago. So I think, for a guy like Sam Burns, the caliber of player he is, I'll go in on this shorter end and take a few shares there at 18-1.
All right, working down the board a little bit, like up to that, 75, 80-1 range. Any names you like in there? I know this is a popular range for us. I think this is where there's a lot of value.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a few guys in here that you could look at. Right off the bat, on the shorter end of this range, I think Shane Lowry at 30-1. We've seen him play extremely well recently. Almost really could have won and probably should have won at the Honda Classic if it hadn't been a little bad luck with the weather right there at the end. Now, I was glad that our boy Sepp Straka won because I had an outright on him, and I'll take it at 140-1. But Shane Lowry, I still think he's been playing really well. Played well last week at the Players' Championship. So at 30-1, I like him. I like Abraham Answer. He's another guy right around this range as well. He is at 35-1. I think that's a good number for Abraham Answer. He played well last week in spurts. He's been playing well in spurts all year long. He's got good history here. I like that as well. So I know we talked about this on the earlier shows. You're not as big of a fan of Answer, but I still think at 35-1, he can win this tournament. Is he a killer? Meaning, is he a guy that's going to come in here and just straight take this tournament away from somebody? I don't know. He might need to have an 8-shot lead, but I still think, which I still think he can win this tournament. All right. A couple others that I do like. Adam Hadwin is another one. He is there at 60-1. DraftKings has the best odds on Adam Hadwin. I think I've seen him everywhere else, anywhere between 50-1 and 40-1. Adam Hadwin's won this golf tournament. He had a kind of a backdoor top 10 last week where he played really well. He's a great putter. He's a good just kind of plotter around the golf course, which on a difficult course like this, that's what we've been getting in Florida. Every single week in Florida, Honda Classic, Arnold Palmer, last week at the Players. You just got to be you got to hang in there, and who knows what could happen at the very end. You could be the winner of the golf tournament. And that's what can happen for Adam Hadwin here at 60-1. So those are the plays that I really like here in this mid-range.
All right. Yeah, I can get down with some of that, I guess. I like two names here, really, both at 70-1. Russell Knox and Harold Varner III both had very solid finishes just last week at the Players' Championship. Knox comes in here with a great record at the Valspar Championship with 3 straight top 25s here, which is tough to do because there's a lot of up and down course form here at the Valspar, but he's definitely turned it up here of late. And the 6th place finish at the Players, and I mean, just look at his ball striking over really since November. His ball striking, tee to green, has been extremely good. It's all about the putter for Russell Knox. It's also all about the putter for Harold Varner III, who does not have near the course history, the course record that Russell Knox has. But, he's got some firepower. And while we're all waiting on Harold Varner to win, he's not won yet. I think it could be coming. I just have a feeling about it. He's got the new baby, the lovely wife at home. Things are just coming together for HV3. I don't know. He gained 8.2 strokes off the tee and on approach combined last week, finishing 6th. I think this is an interesting spot for him at 70-1. I think he's ready to go ahead and break through. I mean, he's won overseas. We've seen him win elsewhere, so he knows how to win and close the door. He just hasn't done it on the PGA Tour, but I think it's coming. So that's really it for me in this mid-range. A couple more just bombs, outright bombs. And I don't love this for the Valspar. I would much prefer, I think the winner is going to come from that 80-1 shorter range. But 2 bombs. Doc Redman at 150-1. I'll take a little bit. Doc Redman is a young player who came out hot. Came out proving himself. A couple of top 5s early in his PGA Tour career. He's added a couple more since then. He's been on tour since 2018. But he's kind of come through a slump. And it appears he may have come out on the other side, because just this past week at the Players, he looked like the Doc Redman of old on his way to finish in 26th. The ball striking was there. The iron play, the off-the-tee game was there. He's a talented young player. I think he played collegiately at Clemson. Good program. 150-1. Doc Redman, if you believe that he could be back, I think he's a guy who has been through the fire, has been through the late on a Sunday with a chance to win, nerves ramped up. He's been through that. And if he can get there again, I think he'll close the door. And then another former PGA Tour winner, Danny Lee at 180-1, seems to like it here at the Valspar, at Copperhead, Innisbrook. Danny Lee is definitely a very volatile player. Very volatile. He could withdraw. He could miss the cut. He could finish top 20. He could finish top 5. I mean, in his last few events, he's finished 61st, 21st, missed the cut, 7th, and runner up. All that's happened in October, since October. Like, Danny Lee is a wild card for sure. He does have a top 10 here at the Valspar. He finished 7th in 2015. It's a long shot, but I mean, that's why he's 180 to 1. So that's probably it for me in terms of outrights.
All right, a couple more for me then. I like Denny McCarthy at 80 to 1. I think that's a good number for him. Denny McCarthy. Mm-hmm. Denny McCarthy, when you look at the last time they played here and this time of year, which was in 2019, because they didn't play here in 2020 this time of year because of COVID, he did finish top 10. So I like that number for him also. Now, here's a guy that's right near Denny as far as like pricing when you look at DraftKings, when you look at maybe like history and recent form and whatever else, but he's 190 to 1. Nick Taylor.
Okay.
So
winner.
Why not go with a little Nick Taylor there?
Yeah. I mean, Taylor. I don't know if I like him to win, but I like him.
But I mean, there's a huge value, I think, with that number. I think that's about all I got, DB.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough after when you get in this range. It's definitely tough.
Yeah.
Okay. What about top 20s? Any top 20s you like?
I'll give you a couple that I like that I think are good numbers. One is, Kevin Kisner is right around plus 300 as a top 20. I think that's a good number for him. Another guy that I think, could finish in the top 20 as well is, you got Aaron Wise is plus 400. Aaron Wise is a guy that I don't ever think I'm going to pick to win. I'm never going to get Aaron Wise right to win.
I like Aaron.
Why not go with plus 400 for him as a top 20? Because I do think this is a good fit for him this week. Another guy who's been playing extremely well lately and has several top 10s lately, and that is Patton Kizzire is at plus 450. I like him also.
Yeah, I like the Wise play. I like the Kizzire play. I get down with that. In the kind of shorter range, top 20s, Noren at plus 220. Great week last week. Been playing well on the Florida swing. Definitely, I think he's played here once. He had a T21, I think, last year. Keegan Bradley plus 220. Obviously was in the hunt late. I mean, just really coughed it up on the 72nd hole at the Players Championship just yesterday. Ball striker, almost won this golf tournament last year. Sam Burns kind of took it from him. Plus 220 as a top 20 feels like really automatic. I mean, you guys are going to be sweating a lot more NBA plays at way less numbers, and I think Keegan feels pretty close to auto. Russell Knox at plus 275. I've already kind of mentioned my love for Russell Knox, so that's kind of the shorter range. Pat mentioned Nick Taylor. He's plus 500. I like that. I don't know. I'll give you a bomb. What about Hank Lebiota at 9 to 1? Hank Lebiota, big time bomb, 9 to 1 though. Finished 13th here last year. That would have counted as a top 20. Coming off a decent showing at the Players, but I mean made cut, but struggled off the tee, and I think some of that was maybe a bad break. Gained 5 strokes on approach, did Hank, and he's been on a run before on the tour. He's got some top 10s. He's got some good finishes under his belt. So I like Hank Lebiota 9 to 1. That's a huge bomb, but let's do it. All right, I think that's it, Pat. That's TJ After Dark. It's late on a Tuesday night with everything kind of being thrown off course thanks to the Players Championship finishing on a Monday. But that's us. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, comment who you like. Who's your dark horse to win this week? Let's get at it for the Valspar 2022 from Innisbrook Resorts, Copperhead Golf Course. I'm DB of the Tour Junkies. It's Pat Perry. Cheers. Mayor Screens be green. See ya.
Out.